Have you ever looked at your cat's tail and assumed it was just moving on its own? A quick flick, a slow wave, a tail standing straight in the air. Most people barely notice it, but your cat does. In fact, your cat's tail may be saying more than its meows ever could. Every movement is part of a silent language shaped by thousands of years of evolution. Once you learn to read it, you'll never look at your cat the same way again.
Cats don't have facial expressions as dramatic as ours. They don't smile when they're happy or frown when they're upset. Instead, they rely on body language, and the tail is one of their most powerful communication tools. Originally, the tail evolved for balance. It helped wildcats sprint across uneven ground, climb trees, and make impossible turns while chasing prey. But evolution rarely wastes a useful tool. Over time, the tail became something more.
It became a signal, a way to reveal emotion without making a sound. This mattered in the wild. Loud communication could attract predators or scare away prey. Silent signals were safer. A simple tail movement could tell another cat, "I'm calm, stay back," or "I see you," without creating unnecessary attention. Even after thousands of years of living beside humans, cats never abandoned this silent language. Instead, they adapted it.
Today, they often use the same signals with us that they once used with each other. One of the happiest sights for any cat owner is seeing a cat walk toward them with its tail held straight up. It almost looks like a little flag. This isn't random. A high, upright tail usually signals confidence and trust. Kittens often greet their mothers this way. Adult cats reserve it for individuals they feel safe around. If your cat approaches you with its tail standing tall, it's often saying, "I'm comfortable with you. I have nothing to fear." Now, look closer. Sometimes the tail stays upright, but the very tip curls slightly forward, almost like a tiny question mark. That small curve often signals friendliness mixed with curiosity. Your cat isn't just acknowledging you, it's inviting interaction. Think of it as the feline version of a warm greeting.
But tails don't always stay high. What happens when your cat slowly wraps its tail around your leg? Many people compare this to a human hug. And while cats don't experience affection exactly the way humans do, the comparison isn't completely wrong. In feline social behavior, wrapping the tail around another trusted individual is a sign of closeness. It's a peaceful gesture that combines physical contact with scent sharing. Your cat is reinforcing a bond that already exists. Speaking of scent, there's another layer that many people never notice. The base of a cat's tail contains scent glands that produce unique chemical signals. When your cat brushes against you or gently wraps its tail around you, it may also be leaving behind its scent. To us, this smell is invisible. To another cat, it's a clear message. It quietly says, "This person belongs to my safe world." That's not ownership in the human sense. It's familiarity. Your scent and your cat's scent become linked through repeated positive experiences. Now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood tail movements, a rapidly flicking tail. Many people assume any wagging tail means happiness, because that's true for dogs. Cats are different. Fast tail flicks often signal rising mental energy. Your cat may be frustrated, overstimulated, focused, or deciding what to do next. Imagine someone tapping their fingers while thinking hard or becoming impatient. That's often what's happening emotionally. This is why petting a cat during rapid tail flicking sometimes leads to an unexpected swat. The tail was already giving a warning.
Most humans simply didn't recognize it. On the other hand, a slow, gentle swish usually tells a different story. Your cat may be studying something outside the window, tracking a toy, or processing new information. The body remains relaxed while the brain works. The tail becomes an extension of concentration.
Then there's the tiny movement that many owners overlook completely, the tip of the tail slowly twitching. This often reflects focused attention rather than strong emotion. Your cat is gathering information, watching, calculating, deciding whether something deserves action. It's one reason cats appear so mysterious. Even when they're sitting perfectly still, their minds are constantly analyzing the world around them. Now, imagine your cat suddenly puffs its tail until it looks twice as big. This isn't an attempt to look cute, it's survival. When threatened, fear activates the nervous system. The muscles at the base of each hair contract, causing the fur to stand up. Combined with an arched back, the cat appears much larger than it actually is. This display evolved to discourage predators before a fight ever begins. Sometimes the threat disappears within seconds, but the body remembers. You may notice the tail stays puffed for a little while afterward because adrenaline doesn't disappear instantly. Another interesting signal is the tucked tail. Unlike dogs, cats don't tuck their tails as often. When they do, it usually reflects uncertainty, anxiety, or a desire to protect themselves. But context matters. A tucked tail in a veterinary clinic means something very different from a tucked tail while hiding from a loud thunderstorm. The tail never tells the whole story by itself. It works together with the ears, eyes, whiskers, posture, and surroundings. Think of it as one sentence inside a much larger conversation. Here's something surprising. Have you ever noticed your cat's tail vibrating while standing beside you? Many owners mistake this for nervousness. In reality, it's often excitement. Some cats produce rapid tail vibrations during especially positive moments, like greeting a favorite person or anticipating food. It's a burst of emotional energy that the body expresses almost automatically. Then there's the curious habit of sleeping with the tail wrapped tightly around the body. Part of this is practical. It helps conserve warmth. But it also creates a protected resting posture. Covering vulnerable areas allows cats to relax more deeply while remaining prepared to wake quickly if necessary. Even during sleep, millions of years of survival instincts are still at work. Here's where things become even more fascinating. Cats don't rely on instinct alone. They also learn from experience. If raising their tail earns gentle attention from you, they're more likely to repeat it. If certain tail movements help avoid stressful situations, those behaviors become stronger over time. This is social learning. Your relationship quietly shapes how your cat communicates. In a way, every interaction becomes part of your own private language together. That also explains why the same cat may display different tail behaviors around different people. One person represents safety. Another represents uncertainty. Another may simply be unfamiliar. The tail adjusts because the emotional experience changes. So the next time your cat walks into the room, don't listen for a meow first. Watch the tail. Notice whether it rises proudly, curls softly, flicks with excitement, vibrates with joy, or slows into careful concentration. Those small movements aren't random habits. They're honest reflections of what your cat is thinking and feeling in that exact moment. Your cat may never speak your language, but it has spent thousands of years perfecting one of its own. And perhaps the most remarkable part is this. Every quiet flick, every gentle curl, and every confident lift of the tail is a reminder that trust doesn't always arrive through words. Sometimes the deepest conversations happen in complete silence.